Greetings, all you eyeball druggies out there, and welcome to the Inner Four Lights, a watch of Star Trek Picard, Season 3. My name is Fletcher, about to say hello is Data.
What up?
Today we're going to recap, discuss, and theorize about Star Trek Picard, Season 3, Episode 2 / Part 2, Disengage. Alternate title, Enter Captain Honey Bunny.
Huh, alright.
This will be a full spoiler discussion. And I mean full spoilers. I will spoil how the universe ends if I want to.
I just like the idea that Fletcher is very into Amanda Plummer.
I mean, why not? This episode was written by Christopher Monfett and Sean Tretta, and directed, once again, by Doug Arniakowski. So, I don't know, are these two of the 12 Monkeys army?
The Christopher Monfett. Okay, hold on, let's see. Christopher Monfett, a lifelong lover of genre fiction. Yes, he is a 12 Monkeys writer for 15 episodes. Apparently, there's several 12 Monkeys references and an actor from 12 Monkeys and stuff in here.
Yeah, so. I did notice that when looking up actors that the Sneed guy is played by, I assume, the star of 12 Monkeys. Because he's James Cole, which is the Bruce Willis role in the movie.
So yeah, this other guy has 30 episodes worth of 12 Monkeys under his belt, including producer for 16 of those.
So just 12 Monkeys has taken over Star Trek.
Yep. Well, honestly, so far, I'm not hating this season, and I think it's better than last season. So, maybe it's for the best.
Maybe. I mean, so far.
Yeah, so far. I mean, we're only 2 in, but that's 1/5 of the way.
If you would asked me last season around this time, I would have. I still wouldn't have quite known.
I binged last season all in a row, so I don't remember where episodes start and end.
Yeah, I think episode 2 was the one where they actually went back in time. I don't remember. It's been a while since I watched that. I just kind of remember around this time a lot of people were vaguely optimistic about the new season. And it kind of went downhill in some later episodes. Anyway, in the 25th century, or 2 weeks ago, so February 9th, 2023.
Honestly, I think I looked away for a split second when it said 2 weeks ago or whatever it said, because it wasn't until it's present day a little later that I was like, wait, that where were we just now?
Jack Crusher is aboard the Helios, and seemingly alone. He approaches a planet while listening to a 70s rock-sounding song that I suspect is another music library knockoff, because I could not find it Googling the lyrics. Suddenly, the space cops show up, demanding to know why he's trying to enter a quarantine zone. He claims he's carrying medicine, but an inspection reveals that he also has a box of Romulan ale. Luckily, he also has a box of some guns to bribe the cops with, and also he offers to cut them in on his warlord medicine double-selling scheme.
Yeah, I guess the only one of these Rangers we'd really seen before was 7 of 9. So having the really shady-looking corrupt Fenris Rangers surprised me.
Yeah, I mean, I barely know anything about these guys, but I'm not impressed with their morals.
I don't know that they existed before season 1, but right. I guess you didn't see season 1, so
right. I mean, Seven occasionally mentions them, but
yeah, she was a Fenris Ranger back in season 1. She runs into Picard doing Ranger work, but apparently it's there's this area. I don't remember if it's in Federation space or just outside of Federation space or whatever, where it's there weren't enough. Oh, it was this area where all these Romulans settled after the Romulan system exploded or whatever.
Yeah,
and it was there was no one to keep the peace, so the Fenris Rangers came in here and were we're gonna keep the peace.
Sure. So it's that time Homer Simpson started a militia.
Yeah.
To catch the cat burglar.
Yeah, that was he was good at that job.
Yep. There's lots of heavy sack beatings. It's how do you explain the fact that petty crimes like vandalism are down 5%, but heavy sack beatings are up an astounding 900%. Well, Ken, I'd be lying if I said my men weren't committing crimes.
Yeah, classic Simpsons. But okay, so while looking at the Fenris Rangers, there's this thing that's like in a story from his Instagram account. Showrunner Michael Chabon described the Fenris Rangers as a decentralized, non-hierarchical, quasi-anarchist affiliation of independent operators working in and around the former neutral zone, pledged to defend the weak and vulnerable from the predations of the strong and unscrupulous.
Sure.
That's a hell of an Instagram.
But whoever they are, they accept the bribe, but they also put in a call to the, quote, marked woman, that they've, quote, found him.
Oh, I thought it was... Okay. Oh, I thought it was like, we found the marked woman or something.
Oh, I thought he said, call the marked woman, we found him.
Yeah, your version makes more sense, because I was like, how'd they find, like, Beverly Crusher? She's not even here.
Oh, so you think...
That we can see.
Beverly Crusher is also marked?
Well, no, that's what I thought, because I was like, so when I thought they were like, hey, we have the marked woman, I was like, oh, so is Crusher the marked woman somehow? But yeah, your version makes more sense.
Either way, I mean, I kind of assumed that the marked woman is Captain What's-Her-Face, because doesn't she have a scar or something? There's lots of facial scars in this episode.
There's lots of stuff in this episode.
Yeah. Anyway, present day. Scary pointy ship stares down the Helios while blasting scary brass music. Picard asks who are these dudes, and Jack is like, I don't know, people just keep trying to harass us. It's like, it was those Fenris guys, then it was the Klingons, then it was some Starfleet guys, and then it was the Eyes Wide Shut-Ians. Which
I guess that makes slightly more sense with the whole trust no one, but at the same time, it's like, it seems unlikely that they were legit Starfleet officers.
Right.
Probably fake Starfleet officers. So you could trust people in Starfleet. They probably wouldn't be
right
on the bad side.
I have a horrible feeling this is the source of Beverly Crusher's Don't Trust Starfleet. We were setting up this big mystery. It's like, oh my gosh, what's Crusher into? And it's just these weird guys have been harassing them for reasons she doesn't know. And some of them were wearing Starfleet uniforms. She's just like, don't trust anyone, even Starfleet. Kind of making that mystery seem less cool, if that's the case.
Although it does lead to the great sarcastic line of this episode where he's just like, so she said don't trust anyone, and you brought basically everyone.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is very ungrateful. I have to say, but
he blames them for leading the aliens to,
they never found you before that,
right? Yeah, I'm sure they weren't going to find you.
Oh yeah, okay. He says reach out to the marked woman. So
okay,
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Confirmed. Okay. So the marked woman is either the Captain Werq, or what's her name?
Yeah, Werq,
or the person hiring Captain Werq.
It's Sneed. He's the marked woman.
He's got a face scar too, and maybe sometimes he puts on a wig or something. I don't know. So Jack Crusher claims he's been running for months, which that scene was 2 weeks ago. So was he doing that smuggling mission in the middle of his ongoing harassment by various people?
Well, he's also a well-known con man, so I don't know how much we can take anything he says at face value.
Yeah, true. Picard's like, well, we should, I guess, call them and see what they want, but Jack Crusher's like, no, they have too many guns. Let's just get in the shuttle and run away, back to the Titan.
And then as if they heard that, the shuttle blows up.
Yep. But first, meanwhile, back on the Titan, Shaw, Seven, and crew are monitoring the situation. Seven wants to go help them, but Captain Shaw is against it on the grounds that they are outgunned and outside Federation space. Which is fair enough.
Apparently this ship, despite being brand new, is not all that tough.
Well, it's apparently an exploration vessel. So
yeah, so was the Enterprise D.
That's the excuse they made. Back on Helios, they prepare to load up the shuttle while Riker muses about how interesting it is that Crusher has a son and how familiar he seems. But they have a setback when the enemy ship launches a precision torpedo strike that destroys the shuttle, and only the shuttle.
The shuttle, which is apparently named the Savick.
Is that a reference to... Who is that a reference to?
Savick from Star Trek 2 and 3.
Oh, that's Savick?
Yeah. What I found, so the shuttle's called the Savick, and somebody's like, I wonder, like, has she ever even been mentioned since Star Trek 3? And I'm on Reddit, and one of the responses, according to Star Trek Log's Instagram that was released before the premiere last week, the first USS Titan, NCC 1777, was captained by Savick.
Wait, Savick, isn't that the lady from Star Trek 2 and 3?
Yeah.
Who was played by two different people?
Right. So apparently she went on to captain, like, the first ever USS Titan.
Okay, so was that just way back in the day?
I guess so. And then, so the shuttle on this new USS Titan is named after her.
Okay, I buy it, I guess. I'll allow it. Back on her favorite rooftop parking place on Planet Club, Raffi watches the news about the destruction of the Starfleet Recruitment Center. The prime suspect, a Romulan terrorist named Lurok Toluco. Raffi opens a chat with her handler, who insists that she, quote, disengage. That's the title of the episode.
Oh my gosh, roll credits.
And what a clever title, too.
I like it.
See, well, we don't disengage in Star Trek. We only engage. Raffi points out that a Ferengi named Sneed claims to have brokered the deal where Toluco bought the mystery weapons, and says she's going to talk to Sneed. On the Titan, Seven tries to get Shaw to help Picard, but he is reluctant.
No, you missed my favorite part of that, where they're like, no, don't go talk to Sneed. And she's like, but there's like 117 people dead. And it's like, it will be 118 if you don't drop this.
Sure,
which can be read, I guess, multiple ways. Like, is her handler threatening her? Or is her handler like, no, seriously, you're going to get killed if you keep messing around?
I think it's pretty clear with all his, like, do not seek anger, which there's that mystery solved.
Yep. Quick mystery solve on that one.
That, he was trying to look out for her.
Yep.
But yeah, so on the Titan, Seven tries to get Shaw to help Picard, but he is reluctant. She says that he could be the hero who rescued heroes, and that seems to get his attention, which that's not the tactic I would have taken. I would have been like, wouldn't it be great if you showed up and had to rescue them, and then, like, they had to, like, eat crow after all their, like, scheming.
Yeah, maybe she knows him better than us. That
sure.
She thinks, like, renown is what's going to get him or whatever. But, I really not the tack that I would have expected to work with him either.
Yeah.
But I think, based on what we see in this episode, I don't have as solid a hold on what's up with Shaw as I thought I did.
He doesn't have quite the panache he had last episode, and it's disappointing.
He's much less sarcastic and confrontative in like that sassy way, that's for sure.
Because, like, you see that guy and you're like, I want to see that guy stand up to some bad guys. And he's just like, hey, well, what's up, bad guys? Oh, you want the guy? Okay.
Yeah, he's really not great with talking to the enemy captain, although Picard is like standing over his shoulder every time and sometimes just takes over. Yeah. So maybe that's part of the problem.
So on the Helios, Jack Crusher and Riker tried to brainstorm options, which still do not involve calling the enemy ship and asking what they want, while Picard goes around sticking doodads all over the place. As soon as Crusher asks what he's doing, he is surrounded by a transporter beam. But he does not go anywhere since Picard has just surrounded the area with transport inhibitors.
Yep. Which, once again, it's like the enemy ship really has some good dramatic timing for what is being said on this ship.
Yep. But now they know the bad guys want Jack, which they would have learned much faster if they just tried calling them. The pointy ship tries sucking on the Helios with a tractor beam, and I think Picard has the very weird line, like, if they can't board us, they'll make us board them.
They'll make us board them, which is like, okay, that's kinky, I guess. But this tractor beam is a really messed up tractor beam, because it's like, they start getting tractored in, and there's no indication that they're like, powering up engines to fight the tractor beam. And despite that, it's like, hull breach on deck 2. And I'm like, so is this tractor beam just ripping your ship apart? Why would you want your tractor beam to do that?
Yep. But whatever the case is, they are saved when the Titan warps right into the middle of it, being the tractor beam.
That was, I really liked that moment. That was, I still don't like the Titan, but that was a really cool looking moment.
I thought it was a little wonky that the ship that weird framing of the three ships, and then the Titan just kind of like breaks off the tractor beam, but Picard shoots all the transport inhibitors, and Riker, Picard, and the Crushers are beamed to the Titan.
It's so ridiculous that they're like, yeah, transport us up, and then it doesn't work, and they're like, what? Oh right, the transport inhibitor. And like you were talking about them literally 10 seconds ago. Like how are you not?
I'm starting to buy into this Picard dementia theory. Back on Dingy Club Planet, Rafi talks to her ex-husband. She asks for an introduction to Sneed, which he says he'll give her if she essentially gives up on talking to their son. And she ashamedly agrees.
Yeah, that was like, he's like, I will help you like get into our son's life, or I will help you contact this shady Ferengi guy, but I will not do both.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, which one do you want? I was like, I cannot believe she made this choice, but he's just like, yeah, that's what I thought. I have to say though that this is really the planet of Rafi convenience, because it's like
everybody is on this planet.
Everybody is here,
and
including
everything.
like, yeah, it's like the place that gets attacked by the secret weapons, that's here. Her ex-husband is here. The dealer who made the arrangement to sell the secret weapon is also, it's crazy.
The Orion guy who gave her the tip about the Red Lady.
Yeah. Orion drug dealer guy.
On the Titan, Seven suggests to Captain Shaw that now that everybody's aboard, they should just all run away. But Captain Shaw wants to find out what's going on. Luckily, the enemy ship finally calls to tell them. After, I guess, getting tired of waiting for them to hail first. The captain of the bad ship is a crazy-sounding lady named Vatic, who seems to have the biographies of all Starfleet personnel memorized or something.
Yep. Like, and not only that, but like recognizes them on sight.
Right. Although it's possible they spent so long waiting to get hailed that she was just like, hey, see what you can find out about this Titan ship. She confirms that she wants Jack for a huge bounty that's on his head. She lets them scan her ship and lights up a space blunt while they confirm she has a million gazillion weapons, including one mysterious
such a big cigar.
Yep.
But among the weapons that get mentioned is it's the weapon from Star Trek Insurrection that the Sona used that have been like that's been like outlawed, that creates like the weird rift in space that chases your warp engine.
Huh. I don't even remember that.
Isolytic burst weapons. That's what they're called.
Huh.
And it's like the first one on the list of like the crazy crap that they have that he lists off. It's like they got like this many isolytic burst torpedoes, and so I was like, wait, that's got to be a reference to something. Yeah. So I had to go look it up.
So many Easter eggs. And then Seven did mention that she'd heard rumors that this ship has like every weapon known to man or something like that.
Yeah, it's like, wait, I've heard some rumors, and he's like, oh yeah, your stupid like vigilante organization rumors. I'm so interested to hear this.
I'm so interested to hear this completely relevant information that would be good to know. Yeah, so they say there's a mysterious unknown weapon in the primary weapon slot or something. So are we led to believe this is the quantum tunneling weapon, or?
Well, I hadn't even thought of that, actually.
That would be kind of weird. Like, did they go attack the Rachel Garrett statue building and then just come over here to get Jack Crusher? It seems kind of unlikely, but...
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Anyway, she uses the tractor beam to throw the Helios at the Titan, which does some damage to the ship.
Yeah, in such a way that it, like, gets through their shields, and they're like, what happened? And Geordi's daughter tries to, like, explain what happened, and the captain doesn't actually care.
No, I like she says something like, she says some technobabble, and it's like, essentially they used, what'd she say? Like, brute
she says,
force?
Like, if my dad has taught me anything, then there's no law of physics that can't be weaponized or, like, negated by another law of physics.
But she explained, like, this special tractor beam, like, has blah, 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 blah. And it's like, essentially, they used blunt force or something like that, which...
Yeah, it's like blunt force trauma or something.
Yeah,
weird,
made no sense. But whatever.
I was like, that doesn't sound like all that stuff that you just said, but whatever.
So Seven does some digging and finds that Jack Crusher is indeed a prolific criminal who is wanted all over the place. Shaw has him dragged away to the brig and announces his intentions to turn him over to Vatic.
He's got a lot of good aliases.
Also, he relieves Seven of duty, which doesn't seem to do anything. Oh yeah,
No, yeah, because she just keeps working. Yeah. But one of the aliases listed is James Cole, the main character from 12 Monkeys.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even pick up on that. Well played, 12 Monkeys crew. Well played. There's starting to be more 12 Monkeys Easter eggs than Star Trek Easter eggs.
Yep.
In the show. I hope by the end it's just like a full-on 12 Monkeys crossover.
Yeah, it's like the guy from 12 Monkeys shows up and he's like, I'm traveling through time to try to whatever. And they're like, I think you've come the wrong direction, dude.
Yeah. It's like Terry Metalis is using this opportunity to force his way into a 12 Monkeys revival.
Is that show canceled?
Oh, I thought it was.
Hold on. I'm going to find out. I haven't actually watched any of it, so I don't, I'm not up to date on what's up. There were 4 seasons, with the last one airing in 2018. So yeah, definitely not on the go anymore. Makes sense why all the writers can be over here doing this stuff.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I assumed if they were all doing this, that the show was over. So Riker and Picard take a turbo lift down to the brig, and Riker is like, you know what the deal with that guy is, right? Like, put 2 and 2 together. He's Crusher's son, and you seeing what I'm seeing? And Picard's like, shut up.
Picard's like, what? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. I have more important things to worry about.
But they get to the brig. Jack downplays the many crimes of which he is confused, and he claims Beverly was in on it the whole time. Picard asks who Jack's father is, and he yells that, I never had a father.
Well, whose fault is that?
Well, I mean...
not his fault. His mother's fault, it seems like.
If Picard is indeed his father, and Picard didn't even know that, then
yeah,
it would seem not Picard's fault. But
right? Especially after what happened in Generations, where like the rest of his family dies. If he found out that he had a kid, I think that he would really want to be involved in that kid's life.
Yeah. Jack says that turning him, meaning Jack, over is probably the best thing to do for the sake of his mother. Rafi goes to talk to Sneed and demands to know who is the real buyer, claiming that she works for Toluco. This bluff falls flat as Sneed has Toluco's head in a box right there.
Yeah, just right there, for some reason.
Which he reveals after giving Rafi some drugs to shoot into her eyeballs.
Yeah, he's like, you got to prove to me that you're not a narc by doing these drugs.
Right.
And she's like, okay, I guess I'll do the drugs. And there's a weird sort of thing here where, because he's like, I call this Splinter, as if so this is some completely new drug.
Yeah. After my favorite cartoon, Ninja Turtles.
And it's like, oh, it's so tempting for her. And I'm like, generally, drug addicts aren't just like, any drug. They're like, yeah, give me some of that. It's like they have one that they've gotten used to the feeling that gives them, and that's what makes them addicted. So
sure,
something that does something completely else isn't necessarily like as tempting as that. So I'm just like, I feel like you're writing this character really weird, where she's just like, yeah, it's drugs, gimme.
I don't know. Sneed is about to give his henchman orders to take off Rafi's head when she stabs him in the hand, and luckily, just at that exact moment, a mysterious figure, who is obviously Worf, begins slashing up all the guards. The mystery figure dispatches all the gangsters with ease, ending with a nice poetic decapitation of Sneed.
Yep.
I mean, do we need decapitations on Star Trek? I'm not sure, but...
I mean, it looked cool. Maybe we should have interrogated that guy, but...
Yeah, it's not a very intelligence thing to do, to just slice everybody's head off.
I mean, Starfleet intelligence may already actually know what's going on, because they're like, no, you stop investigating. We already know. And she is like, what, that Romulan guy? It's clearly not really him. And they're like, stop investigating.
I mean, for all we know, Worf, or the Mystery Man, is tying up the loose end of Sneed.
Well, I mean, we see his face and hear him talk pretty good at the end of that scene. It's clearly Worf.
Well, no, but I'm saying, like, at the very beginning, he comes in, and we can clearly see it's Worf, but then they play it like, who's this guy? But yeah, Mystery Man picks up the drugged Rafi, and we see his face. Worf!
Yep. I do like that we seem to have, because then he has that line about, like, I told you to disengage, or whatever. And it's like, I'm glad that they didn't drag out the, like, who is Rafi's handler?
Yeah, well, I mean, even that I felt was pretty, like, heavy-handed. Like, you see, I, Worf, was your handler the whole time. You know, the guy you were talking to through the text messages? Get it? Me, Worf. But yeah, I guess it could have been worse. Picard, Riker, and Shaw get into an argument of whether to turn Jack Crusher over, and while they do that, Crusher takes it on himself to escape from the brig and just turn himself over.
Using like some sort of wrist device that they didn't take from him before putting him in jail.
Yeah, I mean, what are these security officers doing? They're newbies.
Also, he quotes some regulations like you are required to tell me the voltage of the force field, and I'm like, are they really? Did you just make that up?
Yes, like apparently in the Federation you have a constitutional right to know the voltage of the force field. You can't just be told, like, just assume it'll kill you if you touch it.
Yeah.
Very, very suspicious. But he's a con man, so...
Right.
Riker goes to sickbay, sticks a random thing in a hypo spray, and shoots it into the unconscious Beverly over the objections of her doctors. He's like, oh, this thing looks like it'll probably wake her up. Vadic calls the Titan to ask what their decision is, and then goes on a monologue about her favorite Earth bird, the Shrike, after which her ship is named.
Yep.
Riker busts onto the bridge with the barely awake Crusher, who exchanges meaningful looks with Picard. Then Picard announces, no, I can't give up Jack. He's my son! Which I guess he telepathically read from, or he just put two and two together or something.
No, it's supposed to be this very dramatic moment where they know each other so well, even after all these years, that she can communicate the information with just a look.
Sure. I mean, that look looked like it could have meant so many things, and she's still woozy and just out of sickbay, but...
That was my thing, was I feel like, it was obvious from the first episode that it's like, oh, is this going to be Picard's son? Like, that was where we're going. And I feel like the fact that she doesn't actually say it, and he just like infers it. I was like, oh, are they leaving an open for, it's like, what? No, I didn't lie to you. You made that up on your own.
True. And she goes along with it because I guess she needs Picard's help to save him or something. So Picard is like, everybody, listen to me, not your captain who's trying to protect all of you.
He is an admiral.
Yeah. I guess even retired admirals can do that. As far as the crew knows, anyway.
The crew... Like, when he relieves 7 of 9 of duty, the whole crew is like, oh my gosh, like, is she gonna go? Like, there's all these exchanged glances and stuff, and I was like, I feel like they like her better than the captain, but maybe I'm just reading into it because I like her better than the captain. And so then, like, Admiral Picard, the super famous, like, possibly most famous living Starfleet officer, is like, I want you to follow my orders now. And they're like, oh, do we say no? Like, can we say no to that? But I do have to say that I love this moment in the episode because Picard, he's now like firmly decided on this course of action, and he is very confident. Like, it feels like old Picard, like, okay, I'm in charge now, do what I say. And even the captain is just like, all right, I guess we're doing this. Yep. Shaw sighs and he's like, okay, I guess let's try the old shoot at them and fly away into the space fog trick. I mean, I don't know if like the reveal that it's Picard's son shouldn't be that dramatic change for him. He's like, I don't care. Well, now that his crew seems to be leaning towards obeying Picard, I guess he's like, meh. Yeah, that is the only thing I can think of, is that it's like, he now knows that Picard is never going to back down from this. So what are my options? Like, fight with Picard in front of my crew for control of my own ship and waste time and probably get us destroyed, or just go along with it and do the best we can do. And then we have this very weird moment where Shaw's like, okay, I guess let's try something. And then he types his plans into his little thing. And then Picard says, engage. Which, like, it was a very weird time to call engage. And also, like, did Picard even know what his plans were? He typed into them, into there. He was just like, says engage, and that means shoot and run away. He's just like, whatever your captain just came up with, do it right now. So one person on Reddit said that, like, stand by to execute commands, and then he types them into the armrest thing, is a slight callback to Picard sending orders to Deanna in Nemesis. If you say so. And I was like, all right. I'm not 100% sure that was the intention of the writers, but... Right. Anyway, Picard calls engage. They fly off with Captain Vadic in Giggly's pursuit. The end. Yeah, she seems really into it. She's like, oh goody. I
She's
get to like chase someone down and kill them.
I get to have some fun today.
Which I feel like, despite, they have all these millions of weapons, right?
Uh-huh.
Fine. But isn't using any of those weapons to blow up the Titan, like, you run into the same problem of that they didn't blow up the ship before that Jack and Beverly were on because they want Jack alive. So Isn't this the exact same scenario? I don't see how it's different now.
Yeah. I guess at some point you just have to acknowledge that you're not going to get your bounty and just blow them up so that the next person will be more likely to give up their person to you. Or
interesting.
Something.
Okay. I hadn't considered that. You make an example. All right.
Yeah, you got to play sometimes you got to play the long game. Or I think alternatively she's just crazy.
That seems entirely possible. There's lots of comments on Reddit about like she's like her father would be proud of how she's chewing the scenery here.
Like whose father?
Amanda Plummer.
Is her father like Christopher Plummer or something?
Yeah, I think so. Hold on, let me double check. Yeah, Christopher Plummer.
Okay, well, sure. I mean, it's some good scenery chewing. So, it's not necessarily what I always think of when I think of Christopher Plummer, but oh man, he was in Star Trek, wasn't he? He was a general.
Oh yeah, he was a Klingon or something, right?
He was the evil General Chang.
Yeah, the like eye patch Klingon.
Yeah, the guy who from Star Trek 6. Which we also had the Star Trek 6 whistle, which I forgot to call out in the last episode.
He's the guy who like loves Shakespeare, right?
Yeah, the original Klingon Shakespeare.
Yeah, and then apparently like somebody said in here that like the sound that they use for the bad guy ship is like from Star Trek 1 or something. Like the big deep whatever.
Sure. Is that like the sound the V'ger ship makes or something?
Yeah. Somebody points out that like when you see Jack Crusher's like rap sheet or whatever, known associates include like Quark and Morn and Okana.
Ooh, nice.
It's a good Easter eggs.
Yep.
And then Sneed's got that baseball in his collection, which everyone's like, did Kira like sell Cisco's baseball?
I don't know. You never know. Like Quark could have just grabbed it or something.
Also, something about Sneed seemed off to me. Like the Ferengi makeup seemed weird. Maybe he just had like very small lobes for a Ferengi. Yeah, I don't know. But
he had kind of flat lobes, and his ears were like also a little flat for a Ferengi.
That's what I meant when I said lobes was his ears. Cause
right. His his ear lobes, but also his like skull lobes.
Oh, okay.
I guess Ferengi usually when they say lobes they mean ears.
Yeah.
I was like, those don't look like some very umoxable ears to me.
Right, yeah. Maybe that's why he's so... And apparently he pulls out a bottle of Sluggo Cola to give her.
Oh, nice. I swear he had a Coke bottle in there, too, but...
Maybe.
He was like, I love old human crap, or whatever.
Yeah, when stuff gets old, it's valuable.
I was like, I believe you mean human crap?
Yeah, somebody commented on that. It's like, why didn't he pronounce it human?
Well, I guess he's like those like Anglophiles or Francophiles or something. Yep. He's a humanophile, so he pronounces it right.
There's a great line pointed out where he goes like, "We're cornered in space, which has no corners."
He seemed really upset about that. He's like,
"Yep."
And now we're cornered in space, which has no corners. Good. That was a good reading by Shaw. I
grew in my appreciation of Shaw while at the same time still being annoyed by him in this episode because there definitely seems to be more to him. And like she even has that line. It's like, I'm surprised you're even like functional given what I read in your service record or whatever. And it's just like, okay. So there's something going on with this guy. He doesn't want like crazy Star Trek excitement. He wants like a peaceful captain job. And there's some theories that, because there was that one thing about the ship that was destroyed at Wolf 359, and some people are theorizing that, like, he had a really bad experience at Wolf 359 and has, like, PTSD and stuff, and he wants to, like, finish out his career peacefully.
Could be. That would explain why he hates X-Borg so much.
Yeah, that's part of the thing,
Yeah, so. Plausible. We'll keep an eye on Shaw. I'll keep my application to the Captain Shaw fan club in play for now. I'll make my decision when they make their final offer.
I mean, there's that moment when he finally goes along with Picard, and he sits down in his chair, and Picard comes around and, like, puts a hand on his shoulder, like, good, you've seen the light. And where it's like Picard is giving us permission to like Shaw now.
I was rewatching episode 1, and it was like, I just liked Shaw so much, because when they fly in there, like, Riker straight up says, like, okay, we just gotta con this Shaw idiot into, like, giving us a free ride out of Federation space. He doesn't say it exactly like that, but I was like,
basically,
I was like, I'm kind of glad that Shaw, like, kind of
not stupid.
Yeah, dissed you, like, after that, like, and it's like they have no, like, qualms or second thoughts about what they're doing. They're just like, oh yeah, we'll just scam this guy, get a free ride, take a shuttle, and go, or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in, like, the discussions who are just like, I mean, Shaw's not wrong. He's like, he gets in this mess because these two cowboys show up, and they're just like, yeah, we're gonna go outside of Federation space with no backup and end up totally outgunned and not give you any choice but to, like, get involved. And then there's a bunch of people like, it's like elderly people just show up, a bunch of old people, and, like, basically take over his ship.
Yeah, I would be very mad if I was Shaw. Like, I can't blame him for hardly anything.
She has that line, I believe it's afternoon in the Sol system, and I'm like, well, I mean, depending on what part of the planet
it's like,
Earth you're on, I guess.
I mean, maybe they always work on, like, Greenwich Mean Time or something, but yeah, that was a weird line. I assume there's, like, a standard Starfleet clock or whatever.
Probably.
Okay, I say we have some theory time.
Okay.
So, question number 1. I was thinking, because this recruitment center doesn't seem that important. So, why blow up the recruitment center?
Yeah, she even mentions that it's not a big important recruitment center even.
Right. So, are they trying to hide some record of something? Somebody joining Starfleet, or?
Well, since everything has to happen on this one planet, I just assumed that it was, like, the most important Starfleet installation on this planet.
Yeah. Or, and here's a theory, was the statue the target all along?
Yep, it was all about Rachel Garrett.
So who would have a grudge against Rachel Garrett? Maybe a Tasha Yar?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Tasha would have a grudge against Rachel Garrett exactly. Like, Sela maybe.
Yeah, could be. Whatever happened to Sela? Did she die?
I don't think she did. I think she just goes back to Romulus and is never heard from again.
So, okay. That also is a possibility. And what's going on with Jack Crusher and who put the bounty on him?
That's a good question. I never thought about who put the bounty on him. He's just wanted by so many
Right.
people that I assume that somebody has a legitimate reason to do that.
I mean, it seems like it would be disappointing if it was just some random person who he crossed at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
But then again, I feel like there are some disappointing, like, reveals in this episode. Like, the handler was Worf the whole time, which everybody called, because apparently Worf is the only person in the universe who can use the word warrior.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that theory.
So he said warrior must be Worf.
Yeah.
I'm also just upset because I was secretly hoping that Bashir or Garrick or somebody would be the secret handler, but those hopes are now dashed.
Yep. Another random, like, crazy popular theory I've seen is that secretly, like, the aliens from that the conspiracy episode of season 1 of The Next Generation are behind this, and, like, maybe Vadic is under their control or whatever.
Oh. I haven't seen that episode in so long.
Unofficially, like, in non-canon stuff, they are called bluegills, I believe, because of the blue thing that sticks out of the back of people's necks when they're infected. But
so it's like, well, what's their plan? What's their goal if they're behind it?
Yeah, that's an excellent question that I don't know.
You can say that anybody from the Next Gen is behind it. You could say, like, the alien abduction guys from the Next Gen is behind it.
It could be. Or
the guys who, like, took Data's head off or whatever.
Amanda Plummer's just having so much fun.
Oh yeah,
that I'm like, I don't even care. She's just entertaining. Let's do it. Let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, I assume we have to climb the ladder at some point from Amanda Plummer to X, Y, and Z. But
Probably.
Maybe that kid that brainwashed Riker that one time is behind all of it.
Also, Vatic mentions that Picard is like has a synthetic body.
Yeah.
Which I was like, geez, how common knowledge is that? I feel like that's a secret that you would keep after becoming a robot or whatever.
Yeah, I guess they just have to mention it every once in a while so that we don't get mad at them for pretending it never happened.
So I guess theorize like how does the other cast members get pulled into this? Because we know that.
All right,
we're gonna have Geordi and Deanna and someone played by Brent Spiner all show up at some point.
Right.
So, I mean, the Geordi thing seems easy to me. They're gonna need a ship, and so they're gonna go there, and he's gonna try to get a museum ship.
Hopefully they get the refurbished Enterprise D.
Yep. And
not, man. I mean, okay. So we saw that the Enterprise F is being decommissioned.
Yeah. And
if the Titan gets like redesignated the Enterprise G, I'm gonna be a little mad.
Yeah, I'm not here for that.
Yeah,
I think it would be funny if they end up on like Voyager for some reason. It's like, yeah, this is the one that's available. I guess we'll take this one.
That'd be fun. Remember in what was that Star Trek movie, the third one, the third of the J.J. Abrams era?
Yeah.
Star Trek Beyond or something like that.
Yeah.
Where at one point they stole basically like the old Enterprise or a ship that was like exactly like it, and that was their ship.
I saw that movie once a long time ago. I don't remember much about it.
I'm the same, but that's the one thing I remember.
I remember that it ends up with a plan to like put poison in the air vents or whatever.
I don't even remember that.
But much more dramatic because they're like climbing on the outside of a space station. I don't know. It's a big weird thing.
I remember they listened to the Beastie Boys again. Okay, so that covers Geordi.
I mean, Troy is at home with their child.
I mean, yeah.
Like, how are you going to get her in here?
I mean, Troy's like, where did Will go? He was supposed to like go to Guinan's for like an hour and then come home. So that's pretty easy. I mean, so Brent Spiner could be Lore. He could be Billy Soong.
Yeah, I mean, there's another Soong kid running around out there somewhere, I'm sure.
He could be, B5 or something.
There's possibilities. I don't know.
He could be Noonien Soong put into a Data body.
That's true. Now that we know how to put people in robot bodies, I guess actually his character from season 1 of this show is still around, so he could just be that same guy, I guess.
Oh yeah, who was he even in season 1?
He plays like the son of Noonien Soong.
Oh, okay, sure.
What was that guy's name? Alton Inigo Soong.
Okay.
This like Inigo Montoya thing going. Okay, I mean, if you say so.
It could be that Data's consciousness survived and he created a new body for himself, and it'll be a big reveal.
I mean, that was the end of season 1 is like Data's consciousness is still alive, but is like, please kill me. And then, so Picard kills him.
Okay.
So that would be a weird direction to go after that.
I'm still not going to go back and watch season 1, no matter how much stuff I don't know.
Well, it's just completely spoiled now. So.
Sure. So the consciousness of Data is off the table unless he changed his mind. Who does that leave? Wesley Crusher could come back at any point as the Traveler of the Cosmos or whatever he calls himself.
Oh, okay. So I had to go to the article here. The character's named Alton Inigo Soong because Brent Spiner was like, "Hey, we should use the initials AI."
Okay. Clever,
I mean,
I guess.
Whatever it takes to get him back on the show, I guess.
Sure, why not?
Oh, I didn't know he was from Texas.
Who, Brent Spiner?
Yeah, he's from Houston, apparently.
Wow, everybody's just from Texas.
I know, right? He was born in 1949. I did not think he was that old.
Oh, wow. So he was like already up to like 40 when...
Yeah, he looked pretty good at the time for that age. I mean, he looks good now for his current age, apparently.
Yeah. See. How are we going to get Dr. Pulaski back? Is she even still alive? I don't even know. Like the actress?
Wait. I will look that up in a moment, but wait. I was scrolling through Brent Spiner's article on here because really I was like, how many characters has he played? I want to know. And there's a section in here called Singing Career, where it says, in a rather unexpected turn of events, in 1991, Spiner released an album of 30s and 40s pop standards called Old Yellow Eyes is Back.
Why?
Notably, the backup vocals in the song It's a Sin to Tell a Lie were performed by the Sunspots, a.k.a. his fellow Next Generation cast members, LeVar Burton, Michael Dorn, Jonathan Frakes, and Patrick Stewart.
Why does this sound vaguely familiar to me? I feel like people have brought this up in like panels and stuff with Brent Spiner.
Probably. It would make a lot of sense. Like, that's how do you not bring that up? But now I need to find this album.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard people ask him, like, are you doing another Old Yellow Eyes album or something like that?
Okay, sorry. Catherine Pulaski.
Yeah.
My one of my least favorite Star Trek characters. Diana Muldaur is the actress's name, and she is alive.
Okay, so bring her back. Why not?
She was born in 1938, so that makes her now 84 years old.
No problem. Come on back. Who else do we need? We need Reg.
Oh yeah, Bark. I'm sure you can get him to show up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's in Voyager. He's in all sorts of stuff. He's just one of the great character actors of all time. Is Dwight Schultz. I love him.
Sure.
He always makes me think of the A-Team, and still, it's great.
Yeah. He played Oppenheimer in a movie one time.
So yeah, who needs to come back? We got. Let's see. Who are some good recurring characters from the Next Generation? Lursa and Bajor are dead.
Unless they beamed away at the last minute.
Jack Crusher. Well, we've got a new Jack Crusher. So Duras and Gowron also dead. Hugh also dead.
Oh,
sadly.
did Hugh die in season 1?
He did, and it was kind of a pointless and upsetting death, honestly. Because he actually was a pretty fun character in that season. Like he developed a lot, and he had a really good like motivation, and he was just a good guy all around, and it was a disappointment when he's unceremoniously killed off. But oh man, Edward Jellicoe, bring that guy back.
There's Ronnie Cox. There's no way he's still alive, is there?
That is an excellent question. Let's find out what Ronnie Cox is up to. Now says he's still alive.
Oh, wow. Good job. Yeah, bring him back.
Robin Leffler. Yeah, get Ashley Judd back. That's who we need.
Yeah, that should be an easy get.
Mott the Barber. Yes. let's get him in here. Admiral Nshaev. She could come back. Miles O'Brien. Oh my gosh, how can you not have Miles O'Brien? Yeah,
for sure.
That's okay. That's my new prediction. Is that's going to be the surprise guest star? Is Colm Meaney as Miles O'Brien?
Oh, is there confirmed to be a surprise guest star, or are we
no?
Just saying
There's just a bunch of theories
about
because everyone knows all these big people are going to be back, so everyone's like, there's got to be at least one surprise in here somewhere.
Yeah, Colm Meaney was just in a movie
that we don't already know about.
He's still plugging away.
Ro Laren, she can make a return.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we totally need Ro back. We need O'Brien back.
Loxana Troy. I don't think she's alive.
Yeah, so. No, I'm 100% sure.
She died in 2008.
Away.
Oh, Vash could show up.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know why. That would just complicate the weird Crusher Picard thing.
Yeah, the Crusher Picard, Laris. It's like all of his
Laris.
girlfriends
I kind
back.
of forgotten about Laris. And it's just, all of his ex-girlfriends start showing up.
His girlfriend from the Academy we saw that one time.
Yeah.
They just all show up. And all their clothes come off. And it's too late. He's seen everything.
Okay, so that's my prediction, and I'm going to stick with it until it happens, is that O'Brien is going to pop up somewhere. I
mean, Michelle Forbes is still acting, too, I'm pretty sure. She's
I think so.
Still in the thick of it, so...
I mean, I don't know that I've seen her since, Battlestar Galactica, but let's see what she's up to. She's also from Texas, Austin, Texas.
Okay.
She's in 13 episodes of the show New Amsterdam in the last year or two.
Oh.
6 episodes of the show Big Sky. 10 episodes of the show Treadstone. I've never heard of most of these.
Treadstone sounds like a Bourne spinoff, but yeah, I've never heard of any of these shows, so I don't know.
1 episode of Grey's Anatomy in 2019. 29 episodes of Berlin Station.
Michelle Forbes is in play. That's the point.
Yeah. She's working.
Unless she's too busy. She sounds almost too busy. Although, who doesn't want to come back to Star Trek? Come on.
Well, I mean, it took a while to get Patrick Stewart back, but they did it.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, Miles O'Brien, and I'm gonna hold out for some Ensign Rowe, and some Reg. Okay, so where's your needle at for this season? You said you're still pretty optimistic.
I mean, I feel like I'm actually in a better place than I was last time. Okay. Because I hated Shaw, and now I'm just like, you know what? Maybe he'll end up being okay. I hate him less now. And we got Worf in.
Sure.
We got we got some Jack Crusher's proving to be a fun, sarcastic dude, and really, a suave con man. Who doesn't want one of those in the story? So, and then we got Amanda Plummer, who's just delightful.
Absolutely.
Delightfully evil. So I still don't know about the story. I feel like we honestly didn't get much more of the actual story, at least not in ways that I believe. Like, Jack Crusher has his story, but I don't believe any of it.
Yeah.
She has her story about why she's after him. I'm not sure I believe that either, honestly. And Rafi's story, I don't feel like actually made progress, because it's like, this Ferengi guy is involved somehow. Now he's dead. He didn't really provide any more information, except that another guy that we hadn't heard of until this episode didn't do it.
Yeah.
So, okay.
But this confirms that the official Starfleet story is not true.
Right. But we didn't even know the official Starfleet story last time. So
yeah.
I just don't feel like we've made any progress there, so I can't really comment on that. So still have no idea where the story is going. Still can't comment on that. I like the characters even more than I liked them last time. So that aspect of it, I'm feeling positive about.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad. I think now that Worf's here, I feel like things might ramp up. I absolutely love Amanda Plummer. So I hope she's totally welcome to stick around for as long as she wants on the show, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not quite sure about Jack Crusher yet. We'll see. I kind of hope he turns out to not be Picard's son, because
I also, I have mixed feelings on that, because I feel like I said, I feel like they were leaving room open for him not to be. I also feel like, oh no, your long lost son that no one told you about is a little bit of a trite story direction to take this. I don't feel like he makes a good son for Picard as we know him now. So
it feels a little bit like what's Mutt from
Indiana Jones. Yeah, I agree with that. On the other hand, I have always felt kind of bad ever since Generations about Picard, he's the last of his family now, and he realized how important family was only when it was too late or whatever.
Right.
And so actually having a new Picard that he could have a relationship with, I would like that for him.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So that's the one thing here that I'm like, well, I mean, there's a lot of downsides to that story, but there's that one upside to it that I'm like, maybe I'd be okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Captain Shaw, I'm trying to hold on to my love for Captain Shaw. We'll see. I kind of want to meet more of the crew of the Titan also.
Yeah, we keep seeing these people in the background, and I'm just, all we get is looks, except for LaForge Jr. But I want to know some of these people. I keep reading things into their looks about how they feel about the 7 of 9 and Shaw relationship, but I want to know, because I do like when 7 is walking down the hall in the middle of, the attack or whatever, and she's just like, yeah, I don't care what rank I do or do not have at this point. I need you to, we're defending the ship. I'm going to do my job. And then that's one thing that I saw a couple people note, is that Shaw seems really wishy-washy about, relieving 7 of duty, because she starts, helping defend the ship, and he has no objection to that. And then she's like, "Hey, I caught Jack Crusher," and he's like, "Okay, maybe I'll give you your job back." I'm like, "That's all right."
Yeah, dude, come on. Yeah, he seems to make no effort to enforce it at all. So, yep. I mean, we'll see. I'm not super hating it so far. I have the feeling where the main plot has yet to kick in. Like, this is all kind of a prelude, is kind of the read I'm getting on it. But
yeah, I mean, like I said, there's very little to tell us what the main story is going to be here.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah. I'm trying to decide, because last season, and for all we know, we could end up going, back in time or forward in time or something ridiculous still in this season and messing it all up. But last season, they really seemed to be wanting to tie up some loose ends. Like, let's resolve Q, let's resolve, like, kind of the Borg. And the season before that also felt like a lot of loose end tying up, although some of it wasn't. Like, let's resolve what's up with the Romulans and their system being destroyed or whatever, which we only knew about from, like, the J.J. Abrams films where Spock changes that. But it's also like, let's resolve the Data storyline. Let's resolve all these things. So I'm wondering if that trend continues, what is left open from the Next Generation era that they might want to resolve, and maybe that will lead me to what is the plot here.
Sure. Yeah.
But maybe these 12 Monkeys guys aren't on board with that, like, let's bring back some stuff you remember from the Next Generation and resolve it. Maybe they're like, oh, we're going to do something different with this season, which I would not object to.
Yeah, totally. We shall see. I'm hoping that some stuff really picks up next episode, or that we get some new information, or at least some good more Worf action. Next episode would be good.
Never have too much Worf action.
Yep. Anyway, I guess you're ready to about wrap it up?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so if you made it this far, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed our discussion here, you may be interested in our Star Trek Deep Space Nine podcast, Undeclared Bajor, available wherever you find stuff. Check out the description. I occasionally put links to interesting things in there. I was Fletcher, about to sign off as Data.
See ya.
Oh yeah, we still have to come up with our sign off, don't we? So
do not seek. Well, crap. What was it? I've already lost it.
Yeah, don't seek blame. Don't seek anger. Perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
So just remember, guys, do not seek blame. Do not seek anger.
Just seek to decapitate Ferengi.
Oh yeah, but just don't do it angrily or because you blame them of something.
Right. Exactly. And remember, resistance is measured in ohms.
So true.
Yep.
Anyway, goodbye.